everybody, I have a great technique with the marble stamp image from the Modern Plus Marble Kit using the new Distress Oxide inks. Look at how cool that looks, and you won't believe how easy it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sheet of Ranger watercolor paper, and I'm going to make sure that I'm inking up the smooth side of the paper because eventually I'm going to stamp on it and I won't want all that texture. I'm going to start by applying some of the Distress Oxide inks to my entire panel of watercolor paper. I am in love with these Distress Oxide inks. I don't say that very often. I don't usually get very excited about new products, but this ink is amazing. I love that it has properties of pigment, but also the properties of dye ink, and it's incredible. The other thing I like is I'm using an ink blending tool here with the foam applicator, and it so forgiving when it blends. So I blended it so I got the color and the intensity that I wanted. And now I'm going to go in and I've put a different applicator on for a different color of ink, and I'm using some picked raspberry. And I used abandoned coral for the first layer. And I'm doing this just to add some color and some visual interest to the background of my watercolor paper here. And there I think I've got the colors the way that I want. And so now comes the really cool part. We are going to use the marble stamp image and water to create the background. And I'm going to use a mist bottle, and this bottle mists very fine. And the reason I want it to be a very fine, even mist is because the water is basically going to become like my ink. So I'm going to mist on my stamp about that far away, and then I'm going to come back and stamp. And you can see the water on my stamp. And I'm going to go ahead and press my image down. Now this is a long image and it's very detailed, so make sure that you press evenly. And also make sure that when you mist, don't mist over your project because your background will react with whatever water you mist and it's going to ruin the effect. I had a lot of water on my stamp image, so I'm going to take a paper towel and just gently blot away those puddles. And look at how the ink resists the water. It's like it picked up the color. It's just an incredible result. So once again, I'm going to mist onto my stamp, probably about 4 or 5 squirts or pumps of water onto my image, making sure that I've got water on all parts of my image. And once again, I'm going to stamp. I'm also leaving the stamp on a little longer than I would with ink because I want the water to really react with the Distress Oxide inks in the background. Isn't that gorgeous? I just think it's the coolest look, and with this marble image, the results are incredible. You can see I've moved the image around and filled in all those spots, and this image is perfect for moving around and filling in backgrounds. So many options. Once again, if you get just a little bit of extra water on there, just grab a paper towel and damp it away. I'm going to use my heat gun to just dry this a little bit and just to kick up the interaction. And there you go. How cool is that? I absolutely love the results there. Because I made this cool background, I wanted to still show off the background, so I thought maybe it'd be cool to use a piece of acetate. And I cut a piece of acetate using the largest hexagon die in the Modern Plus Marbled kit. And I'm going to take it a step farther. I'm actually going to gild the bottom of this piece of acetate. It looks so cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Nuvo glue pen, and this is the medium one, and I'm going to push it in my paper until the glue starts flowing. And what it does is it leaves behind the glue. It's kind of a pale blue color when it first comes out, and that's how you know the ink is flowing. And now I'm just going to color this glue all over the surface of my acetate, making sure that I cover as many spots as possible. Now, it is plastic. It may come up in spots, and that's okay. It's just going to add to the overall effect of your piece of acetate. There you can kind of see. Now, I'm going to heat this glue up to dry it because I want it to be dry. And because it's on plastic, it would take too long if I just let it dry by hand. So now you can see that the glue has gone clear from my heating, and now it's ready for the flakes to be applied to the glue. These jars of gilding flakes are super full, and this is the gold, and this is included in the Modern Plus Marbled kit. And you simply pull some of the flakes out and put them over the glue. I'm using a stipple brush, which is a stiff brush, a stiff bristled brush, to push the flakes down into the glue. And then as I get the glue all covered, I'm going to start going around in a circular motion to burnish or finish off. And look at the incredible results on the acetate. How cool is that to have that gilded, clear acetate? To stick this to my card, I simply put some foam squares behind the foiling. And I'm removing the backing on these. That's what I love about these foam squares from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L, because you can kind of control where you put it. And then I'll be able to apply it to my card, and I get some nice dimension, and I've kept my adhesive hidden, which makes me very happy. And I just push it down gently. To finish my card off, I used some leaf and flower images from Gran's Garden from Papertrey ink. And I also used my Distress Oxide inks. I love how bright and colorful. And the sentiment came from the thank you die from the Modern Plus Marbled kit. So there you go. You have a pretty card with a gorgeous marbled background using Distress Oxide inks. Have fun stamping.